Imagine a group of people deeply connected. They share a language, a history, a culture. They feel a sense of belonging, a pride in their shared identity. This, my friends, is the essence of nationalism. It's the powerful belief that your nation, your people are special. Nationalism is like a strong glue, binding people together. It inspires them to strive for a common goal, a nation of their own, free from outside rule. This idea, though simple, would change the face of Europe forever. To understand the rise of nationalism, we need to rewind a bit. Picture Europe in the 19th century. This was a time of immense change. The Industrial Revolution was in full swing, bringing new technologies, factories, and social upheaval. Cities were growing at an unprecedented rate. People were moving from rural areas in search of opportunities. Amidst this transformation, a new sense of identity began to emerge. The old order, based on absolute monarchs and powerful empires, was being questioned. People began to yearn for a say in their own governance, for the freedom to celebrate their own cultures and identities. This desire for self-determination became a breeding ground for nationalist sentiment. France, the land of croissants and revolutions, played a pivotal role in igniting the flames of nationalism. The French Revolution of 1789 sent shockwaves across Europe. It challenged the absolute power of monarchs and championed the ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The revolution's rallying cry, liberté, égalité, fraternité, resonated far beyond France's borders. It inspired people across Europe to fight for their own freedom and national identity. The French Revolution wasn't just about changing the government in France, it was about changing the idea of what a nation could be. It showed that ordinary people could rise up, overthrow their rulers, and create a new society based on the principles of the people. Nationalism wasn't just a destructive force, tearing down old empires. It was also a powerful force for unity, bringing people together to form new nations. This was especially true in regions where people shared a common language, culture, or history, but were divided politically. The Italian and German unifications are prime examples of nationalism's unifying power. For centuries, these regions were divided into small states and kingdoms. However, the shared language, culture, and history fostered a sense of Italian and German identity that transcended these political divisions. Nationalism became the driving force behind movements to unite these fragmented territories into single, independent nations. These unification movements were often led by charismatic figures who embodied the nationalist spirit and rallied the people to their cause. Section 5. Leaders of the movement: Bismarck and Garibaldi. Two figures loom large in the story of European nationalism: Otto von Bismarck in Germany and Giuseppe Garibaldi in Italy. These men, though different in their methods, shared a common goal: the unification of their respective nations. Bismarck, a master strategist and politician, orchestrated the unification of Germany through a series of wars and political maneuvers. He believed in blood and iron as the means to achieve his goals. Garibaldi, on the other hand, was a romantic revolutionary. He led the Red Shirts, a volunteer army, in a daring campaign to liberate southern Italy and unite it with the north. He was a charismatic leader who inspired fierce loyalty in his followers. These two men, though different in their approaches, were instrumental in shaping the map of modern Europe. They demonstrated the power of nationalism to mobilize people and achieve political change. Section 6. A Tale of Two Countries: Germany and Italy. The unification of Germany and Italy provides a stark example of nationalism's impact. Before unification, both regions were fragmented. Germany was a patchwork of kingdoms and principalities, while Italy was divided between several rulers, including the Austrian Empire. Through Bismarck's shrewd diplomacy and military prowess, the German states were unified in 1871. This new unified Germany quickly emerged as a major power on the European stage. In Italy, Garibaldi's Red Shirts, with their popular support, played a crucial role in the unification process. By 1861, Italy, excluding Rome and Venice, was united under King Victor Emmanuel II. The final pieces fell into place a few years later, completing the Italian unification. These unifications drastically altered the balance of power in Europe. They also instilled a sense of national pride and identity in the newly formed nations, further fueling nationalist sentiment. Section 7. Why nationalism? The roots of a movement. What were the driving forces behind this surge of nationalism? There's no single answer, but several factors contributed to its rise. One key factor was the growing sense of shared identity. The rise of literacy and the printing press meant more people had access to books, newspapers and pamphlets in their own language. This shared language and culture, reinforced through education and media, fostered a sense of national belonging. People began to see themselves as part of a larger community, distinct from other groups. Economic factors also played a role. The Industrial Revolution created new economic opportunities and rivalries. As nations competed for resources and markets, nationalism provided a powerful tool to mobilize populations and justify expansionist policies. Section 8. The legacy of nationalism, a mixed bag. Nationalism's legacy is complex and multifaceted. On the one hand, it fueled movements for independence and democracy. It led to the formation of new nations, breaking the shackles of foreign rule. It also inspired people to fight for their rights and freedoms, leading to social and political reforms. However, nationalism also had a dark side. It could be easily manipulated to promote intolerance, prejudice, and discrimination against minority groups. Extreme nationalism, with its emphasis on national superiority, contributed to a climate of mistrust and rivalry among European powers. This toxic nationalism, unfortunately, reared its ugly head in the 20th century, playing a significant role in the outbreak of two devastating world wars. Section 9. Conclusion. Nationalism's enduring impact. Nationalism's impact on Europe is undeniable. It redrew the map of Europe, creating new nations and transforming existing ones. It ignited revolutions, sparked wars, and shaped the destiny of millions. While nationalism's legacy is complex and fraught with contradictions, its impact on the world we live in today is undeniable. Understanding nationalism is key to understanding the complexities of European history and its continued relevance in the 21st century. As we navigate the challenges of a globalized world, it is crucial to remember the lessons of the past. Nationalism, when channeled constructively, can be a force for good, promoting solidarity and progress. However, when manipulated for selfish or aggressive ends, it can have devastating consequences.